Hi everyone, it's Jean from Jean's Gems. I just wanted to share a little project with you, and this is a project inspired by Kim Newberg. We were thinking it would be a very fun thing to share bits of our art with other people, especially our subscribers and those who watch our channel. So what I have designed here is a template for an envelope. And what I used, and I'm in the USA, so what I used for this template was sort of the size of a regular business envelope. So the body of the envelope is the business size. However, once you fold it in, it's a couple inches shorter. So it's about 7 inches wide. And if I look at this one, as far as the business envelope, it's like 9.5. 9.5. So this one is 7. So if you keep that in mind, 7 inches, and then this way it's about 10. Then you can get a standard size envelope like this that will take your regular stamp. Now, if you are going to send lots of things in your envelope, you may have to pay more than a regular stamp. So I believe it's just 1 ounce that you can mail under a regular stamp. And that's what we want to kind of do. Keep this down to just 1 ounce so that no one has to pay very much. So the design for the envelope that I have come up with is you can do a simple version or you can do a more complicated version, and that's certainly up to you. The great thing about these envelopes is that we will get envelopes from people from all over, and not only that, we can then take our envelopes and we can bind them nicely into a journal and have this amazing journal that we can look back on and see all the people that not only participated in our Happy Mail project, but also people that we'll have addresses for then if we just want to send something out randomly or send them a note for different reasons. Sometimes crafters will mention that they're not feeling well or that they've had some family concerns. We can also send a kind little note to them if we have their address in our journal. So the idea of this project is for you, my subscriber, to send me an envelope, and you don't have to put anything in it other than maybe a slip of paper with a tiny note. If you want to send something else, that's certainly up to you. And then once I get an envelope from you, I will send you one. So I will give you my address. It'll be listed on the YouTube channel, and I'll also give it to you here. So once we make that exchange, then we can start doing that with other people as well. So this is the design that I came up with. This is a 7-inch. Now this is just the body part. So if we want to add the flaps, it comes to about 8.5 for the flaps. So what I've done is you can make your envelope out of anything you want to. You just have to make sure you allow a space for a clear space where you can write out your address, and you can write out the address of the recipient. So one of the things that I did on this particular one, this is one of the first ones I made, and this is kind of a scrapbook paper that has postcards and things on it. So what I did for this one is I took a little bit of white gesso, and I gessoed the spaces where I would be putting the addresses so that they would stand out. And when I add my address, then it shows clearly and does not interfere with any of the decorations. And then on the back, as you can see, I just put a couple die cuts. This one, this is just something I was doing for my own personal style. I will show you this, the regular way to make these that will be easier. But for mine, I cut the little slit. Sometimes when you get an envelope from someone, there'll be a liner piece in it. I have so many of these doilies, so I just lined it with a piece of doily, and then it closes like this. Use some couple pieces of washi tape, and you can see where there's some places that some gesso got on. And then what I'll do is put the recipient's address right here, stick in a note or maybe a tag that I made, or some stickers or something fun like that, and send back to someone who sends one to me. So this size and this size are what we get out of this particular template. Now this is just something that I was trying because I had this embossed vellum and I wanted to see how it would look through a window. So that's just an experiment on my part. So what we can do with this is I have tons, and I've probably mentioned this to you before, I have tons and tons of scrapbook paper. I had a friend who used to do scrapbooking on a regular basis with her mother-in-law. And when her mother-in-law passed away, she decided that she no longer wanted to do scrapbooking. So she actually sold me her whole stash, and I don't remember how much I paid for it, but the paper alone that she gave me was worth what I paid. I can't remember if I paid $100 or $300, but the amount of scrapbook paper that she gave me was a large Tupperware container full. And she also gave me stickers and brads and all kinds of stuff. So some of the things I have given away, some of the things I still have in my stash. So you can use whatever paper you want. It doesn't have to be double-sided. This is just a piece that I have laying around, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to trace my template. Now, if you want to use this method that I have designed, I will tell you that it's really easy as far as gluing it together and having it sturdy enough, because I made one earlier and I will show you. This one is for someone that had asked me for some stickers. So I made this one, and I'll keep her address covered up, but it's made out of fall leaves, and it comes out really nice, and it has a little bit of thicker things in there. So this will cost me more than a regular stamp, but I just wanted to show you that to let you know that it is sturdy enough that you can mail out some things in it. Now with this, I'm just going to cut it down, and it's okay that I have a little bit of this white space. I may trim it off later. I'll have to see how it looks. Now, if you have a way that you can even do this on your cutter if you want to. That way you'll get precise lines. Just be careful and don't cut the tabs off like I did last night, and then I had to glue it back on. So I'm just going to cut this out like this, and then like this. And then it's just a matter of folding it up. So you fold the bottom up to where the tabs are and try to get that as straight as you can, and then just crease it. And then you fold the tabs in like this, and you crease it really nice. And then you fold this tab in right here, and you want to crease that very nice. And then here you have an envelope, and you can fold down the top then. Now, one of the great things about having this fold here is that it actually, instead of gluing it, let's say, for example, like this, when you glue it like this, it reinforces the sides. So what you put in then, it's a stronger bond, so that things can't slip out the side or rip out the side. Now this is being double-sided. It's a lot sturdier than a normal paper envelope would be. So you may have to keep that in mind when you're designing your envelope, because what you glue on the outside will make the weight a little bit different. For example, if you use some of the die cuts that Tim Holtz has, then because his die cuts are thicker on a harder cardstock, it's going to make your envelope a little bit heavier. But here's your envelope, and you can use some double-sided tape to close it, glue, however you want to do it. If you want to cut so that it looks like a regular envelope, this is what I do to do that. Where did I put my ruler? Oh, stars and garters. I'm going to have a video where I hide something on my desk, and the first person to comment that they see it, I'll have to give them a prize. Here it is, under these other two envelopes that I made. So if I measure this, I'm going to open this up and just measure it, the inside flap. It's 7 inches. So half of 7 inches is 3.5. So I'm going to put a little dot right here. And then if you go from the corner to the dot, and then corner to the dot, and then cut this out, it kind of gives you the feeling that it's more of a regular envelope style. Now, you do not have to do yours this way. I'm going to show you how you can make one just out of a regular piece of paper, and I'll tell you how big the paper should be. But if we look at this one, we fold it in, and then we close it like this, open it up, it gives you the feeling of it being a real envelope. A regular envelope that you might use. And then you can decorate the inside if you want to. That's totally up to you. So for a regular sized envelope, I'm going to see if I have what kind of paper I have here handy. I'm going to use this piece of yellow. I don't know where it came from, but it got all wrinkled, so we'll just use it. So this piece is, let me see. This comes from a 12 by 12 sheet, so it's 12 inches, of course, that way. And then this way, it's 7.5, so that's fine. So what we can do is we can just fold this up in half. Well, not all the way half. Just fold it up like an envelope style. And then fold this flap down. So it looks like you have just a folded envelope. Here's the flap, here's the bottom. Okay? After you make those folds, I want you to take the inside edge, or the outside edge, actually, it would be called, and fold it in about 1/4 of an inch. Let me make sure. 1/2 inch. Fold it in about 1/2 inch. You do not have to be exact. You can kind of eyeball it to see that it's the same size on each side. And then after you fold these nice and crisp, you can flip this up here and just kind of do that so you can make sure it's folded properly and not off kilter or anything. So here we have this part folded and that part folded. But we really don't need the flaps on the inside of the top page or down here on the bottom, because we only need the edge flaps right here for the middle section. So what I'm going to do, and you can do this differently, what I do is I find where the crease is, okay, and I cut on an angle upward. Then I fold it, I'm sorry, it should be downward, pardon me. Downward like this, and downward like this. So then when you fold this out, you have these two pieces that look like this. So then you can take your scissors or your cutter, whatever you have, and you want to cut away the sides on the bottom and cut away the sides on the top. And now, when we fold this up, if we flip these out, we have this piece so that we can close that. Now, with this top part, I'm going to cut it up and cut it up at the crease, fold these out, and then trim them off. Trim this off. Trim this off. And fold this down, and there's your envelope. Now, what you can do if you want to, and this is just, you know, personal preference, you can kind of fold this in a little bit. Try to fold it in the same way on each side. And there you get a cute little flap if you want it. So there's all different ways to decorate that flap if you think that it's too big or too bulky. You can fold this in. And there you have a nice little fancy flap to it. And when you're ready to design, or I'm sorry, to decorate your envelope, you can put a little piece of lace or paper trim here, or whatever you want to do to decorate it. And then here on the front, you have the nice size envelope. So what I would do in this particular case, because I'm a person that likes to use as much of my scraps as I can, these might not be quite wide enough, but you could use, depending on what size your paper was originally, you could use some of these scraps and just turn them over and glue them down, and then you would have a place for your label. Now, this one may work. It just depends on how small your writing is. And I think for the post office, it's good to make your labels a little bit bigger than that. But that's about the size of a standard address label when you look at it. So you could use this one up here. Just cut this down a little bit. You could use this one up here for your address. And then we'll cut this one right here. And you could use this one right here for the person that you're sending it to. Now, if you do that, just make sure you glue them down really nice and flush, because you don't want any of the edges to come up. As much as these envelopes go through the mail, you don't want it to rip off your address. Also, you can do like I did, take a little bit of gesso, and I just took the gesso on a piece of cardboard and just scraped it across here and scraped it across here, and it made a white spot so that I could write my address in that space. I don't have any address labels, so I have to write mine out by hand. So here is my address. And if you are wanting to participate in this, it doesn't matter how you design your envelope. You can leave it completely flat like this and decorate it here and there with some stickers or some lace if you have any. Just make it you know, kind of as flat as possible, because you don't want to have too much bulk. This is just a random snippet I had, so I could put this on the back, and then I could add some butterfly stickers, or I have cat stickers. You can draw on here. You can type out your labels if you feel like your handwriting is not what you want it to be to send a message, or if you want to use some interesting fonts, you can do that. The point is that you make this folded piece this simple folded piece and send out your envelope, and it's just a really cool way to share your art with other people. So I just trimmed the top down, and there you go. So if you would like to participate along with me, I will send out an envelope to anyone who sends me an envelope. So you have my address here. I will put it also in the bottom. You can send me, like I said, just a little note. You can send someone a tag or a sticker, just something small so that you don't have to use a large stamp or an expensive stamp. And then send that off, and when I get it from you, I'll send you one back as well. So I think this is a really fun way to get to know our fellow artists and subscribers. So if you are wanting to participate, just put "I'm in" the bottom. That way I will know to pre-prepare your envelope, because I'll be waiting for yours. And then if you decide to do this on your channel, you must use the hashtag Happy Mail Movement. So I'm going to upload this, and hopefully we'll have lots of people participate and have fun. I will link Kim's video also in my description so that you can check out hers as well. And let's get some art moving around the world, guys. So you have a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.